The world does not value generalists, it values specialists. A specialist doctor, lawyer, investor, accountant, coder, or whatever nearly always does better than the generalist. So make sure you're great at one in-demand thing, live it, breathe it, get known for it. What do you think about this statement? What if one fails to be a specialist and turns to be a generalist? I would love to know your opinion on this advice. Although I know this is strictly no advice podcast, but still, it's not a podcast. Sri Mangalam, I don't know where you stand on this topic. You seem very aggressive. Maybe it's just how you've written it. I have a very simple answer for you. Go to hospital with heart pain and they give you two options, a heart specialist or a generalist. Which doctor would you choose? If you choose heart specialist, you have answered the question. This is not about status indifference that generalists are not given respect and specialists. Dude, you're talking about basic logic. A human being has 70, 80 years of a lifespan to be good at something. If you specialize and focus in one thing, you might get good at it. Good enough to be called a professional, good enough to help other people. Being a journalist basically means not spending enough time on a certain skill. So you won't be good at it. So it's not about being unfair or fair. You're talking about... this is what you're saying. People favor people who complete the 21k marathon instead of people who do 7 2-kilometer marathons. It's like, those are two completely different things. One person has chosen to spend time and complete a thing. Why are you hating them on completing a thing? And being a journalist doesn't make sense, right? Because you will be good at something more than the other thing. So there was a lot of interesting replies. But for example, if you're really good at making a product and that product becomes very successful, you will have to learn about marketing a little bit, business management a little bit, working with employees and just the market and customer acquisition. You have to learn a little bit, but you're still a specialist in making a product. So your question is actually just not based on a sound bed of reasoning, because the conflict is not journalist versus specialist. It's very hard to be a specialist. That's why they're valued more, and that's why there are less of them. Do you think you have the discipline to become a pilot? Because the moment you hear pilot, you know for a fact that, or a doctor, that you have to read so much, you have to practice so much that you will give up halfway. Hence, there are very few. Also, there's how expensive it is. Very few pilots, very few doctors. And most of us do hotel management, or arts, or whatever, because it's easier. So, but we need specialists, and thank God there are people in the world who dedicated their lives to learning one thing and painfully going through it, and I'm glad they're being handsomely paid for it. So good for them. I want specialists to be paid more because their services add way more value than generalists do. So yeah. Hey, if listening to these long 1-hour podcasts isn't your thing, this is the channel, bro. Subscribe for more short recordings of me talking alone or with my friends. And I won't be a true YouTuber if I don't say like, share, subscribe. So do it. Bye.